Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. Back for Tech Tuesday after an extended hiatus at an undisclosed location. I have more on things that came out of that. It was fantastic workshop and networking. Something I wanted to share with you though. And we'll come right back to the Tech Tuesday. Hold with me. Something I want to share with you though. When I was 14, I had an algebra instructor who was also the varsity assistant track coach. I ran track in junior high and for a little while in high school. I wasn't as good at the team thing on football, didn't listen to the coach, but worked basketball, but never quite got the shots in. I was good second stringer, could pass off well, could run fast, which led to track. It was great experience. In fact, when I was 14, I had the opportunity over the winter. This is in the Midwest, so winters are pretty cold. Had the opportunity to be coached by one of the athletes from Ohio State University's track team. Invited me to the indoor facilities that they had, incredible track and training environment, taught me the mechanics of running, worked with me on endurance, on running, on form. Now, in those days, we ran the 440-yard sprint. It's now the 400-meter sprint. In those days, it was 440 yards. I went from 61 seconds to 56 seconds on my best time, one season to the next season. When I was running track at age 14, man, it was just unbelievable. I learned to stretch, learned to get that form down. So it was just so and how to reach for that stride, how to snap the leg forward and just barely grab the cleats into the track, not slap it down on the surface, but just bang, the objective is grab it with the cleats. So you're moving across it, not pounding through it. Great experience. Such a big improvement from 56 to 60, from 61 seconds to 56 seconds. Huge improvement. Personal best. It was a great experience. Fantastic coaching. And then there was that assistant coach in algebra class. Total bully. In fact, he told me to go work a problem on the blackboard one day. I walked up, working through the algebra problem, and it was just, I couldn't see the next step. And instead of asking powerful questions, which as a leader, that's one of the keys, right? To coaching, to leading is asking powerful questions. He's saying, are you so stupid you can't see it? It's obvious. You're a loser. If you can't do that, you'll never amount to anything. It's just calling me names. And it hurt so bad. This guy's a coach. This guy's a coach. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to put up with him in the coming track seasons. This was during the time I'm having this training. What a contrast. I've got this coach athlete from Ohio State University that is showing me how to radically improve what I'm doing. Something I was already having success at, how to get radically better. And I've got this bully who's calling me names, demeaning, running me down. I mean, it's just like it stung and hurt emotionally. And there I am in front of the entire class at the blackboard. I can't see the answer. I just don't get it. And I'm losing it. I mean, tears. There's tears running down my face. I'm totally ashamed, embarrassed. I just want to hide under one of the desks. That track season, I was one. Now, imagine this. This is my freshman year in high school. The high school I went to, at that time, the freshmen were banned from varsity sports. I lettered in varsity sports in track. I was one of 7 in our class. We had some great athletes. I lettered that year. Wasn't even supposed to be on the team. I was good enough. They couldn't ignore me. It was good enough. I brought so much value to the team that they're like, come on, we want you there. Ran 440, 440 sprint, the mile relay, 2-mile relay. Love those sports. Love that handout. You just running like fast and go, bam, you hand it to the next person. Got to work that handoff. Got to work that handoff because that's one of the places you win or lose. It's like pit crews in racing. A lot of times race car drivers win because it's just so close. One of the things that can help them make the difference between winning and being second place is the pit crew and how fast the pit stops run. So fast forward to the next track year. It didn't have the training at Ohio State University that winter. I did have that same coach, the algebra teacher. So what is he doing out on the track? He's telling me, just get out there and run. Run harder. Do this. And he's yelling. He's calling me names again. I'm getting that emotional. I just, oh man, this is demeaning. There's nothing to offer. And again, that contrast. We had a great coach, and now I've got this bully, and he's making it personal, and he's being mean. So then I find myself taking the option to work. Over the summer, I had gotten a work permit when I was 14, started working a part-time job, shoveling dirt, scrubbing floors. Not making a lot of money. And I loved it. It was great. Got to hang around adults, a lot of college students that worked there. Just worked like crazy, outworked everybody. And here I am again on the track team with this bully running me down, telling me I'm never going to amount to anything. So, you know what? Our family's struggling. And he didn't know, he didn't ask, didn't know about this. We had zero relationship. It's like going, I'm going to go work. I don't need this. My dad was having health problems. We were scared. My mom and I were scared that something was going to happen to him. And we needed the money. There's chaotic times. This is late 1970s, crazy interest rate jumps, recessions, high inflation, long lines for gasoline. Sometimes gasoline was rationed. You didn't know if you're going to be able to buy gas when you'd have to wait a long time. You wait half an hour in a line for gasoline, find out, sorry, pump's dry. They're out. They won't be getting any more gasoline for several days. It's crazy, crazy time, a lot of chaos. And I just decided that's it. This track thing, all the yelling, the bullying, the demeaning treatment from this adult at age 15, I quit. I walked in and I had to, of course, I had to talk to him, right? To him, the mean bully assistant track coach that also teaches algebra. So I walk up, got my track uniform. He looks at me and says, I knew you'd quit. You're a loser. You're never going to amount to anything. And he said more. And it's just like, you know what? Here. And what I wanted to do was just take that uniform and throw it at him or more. Thought, not worth it. This is like, I was just disgusted. I was like, here, I'm going to work, which was true. I needed to be at work. I stopped by on my way to work and go, I got places to be. And he's like, fine, just be a quitter. You'll be a loser. You'll never accomplish anything. Now, jump forward another year, the middle of my junior year in high school. I'm sitting in the principal's office with an acceptance letter for engineering school to get my bachelor's degree and getting approval to graduate early so that I can start college. And it was a sweet day to see that same assistant track coach as I was crossing stage with the rest of my class, graduating from high school with a full term and a half of engineering school already under my belt. There's more to that story. Just wanted to start with that because that's part of my story of I've had a lot of experience with chaos. Brought that into my early career, built a career around dealing with chaos, bringing order to it, finding the solution, finding the path through chaotic times. Whether it's bringing a product out of development into production, if you've ever experienced that, it is very chaotic, very chaotic. Parts don't arrive from suppliers on time. Sometimes things don't quite work the way that we thought they would on paper, or the transition from the prototype to the production parts doesn't, there's some things lost in translation. Yet we get it worked out. Sort of like on this day in history in, let's see, what was the date? Well, on this day in history is when the first The hang on, let me bring this up. Here's a photo. It's courtesy of history.com. The Intercontinental Railroad opened. That golden spike was driven in at Promontory, Utah, connecting Omaha, Nebraska, and Sacramento, California. Sped up transportation time. The main transportation was covered wagon. Took 6 months, 180 days. If think about this, it was 180 days if you survived the experience. There's a pretty high fatality rate. A lot of movies made about things like that. A lot of reasons why people wouldn't make it. Not being prepared. It's a major one. Stumbling off the trail into the wrong areas. Another one. But think about that. From 180 days to 4 days to make the same trip. From 180 days to 4 days. 97% faster. Driven largely by, not completely, but driven very much by the gold rush in California to find a shorter path through to connect one end of the continent to the other. There was already some railroad track laid. You could get from San Francisco to Sacramento. You could get from New York or Washington, D.C. to Omaha. But to go from plain states through the mountains, that was a different story. Nearly 2,000 miles. Imagine what that must have been like. Crazy. Crazy times, crazy improvement. Chaos to order. So, Tech Tuesday, what's your story today? Just wanted to share that with you. How are you speeding things up? How are you leveraging technology, in that case, transportation technology? 19th century, trains were the technology 150 years ago. What's the technology that you're using today, and how are you using it to speed up communication and to make sure that it's speeding up the right things? If you have a chaotic activity, chaotic series of things that you're doing, and you implement a new accounting system, for example, to pull together a bunch of data, yet you don't have all of the receipts in order to enter into the system, or the data is entered wrong into the system. Oh my gosh. Or the person running the system for you, because you shouldn't be doing that yourself. You should be delegating that. Now, I understand if you're just getting started out, you need to get to a certain point where you can afford to do that. Totally understand it. Your goal as a business owner, as a business leader, should be to, as fast as possible, getting yourself to a position where you can afford to have someone do that for you, because you need to focus on sales, on service and product delivery, on working with customers, on growing the business, identifying and seizing opportunities. Another way of saying solving problems for potential customers and communicating the value of that to them, which was what we call marketing, right? You should be doing that. But if you don't have a process that works on paper and you put that into an electronic version, whether it be inventory control, manufacturing planning, your accounting your financial information, all you're doing is speeding up the pace of chaos. If you're not training the people that are doing it for you on how to properly enter it, how to run the system, how to do the analysis within the system, you're just throwing good money after bad, because now they're going to be confused and frustrated. You're going to be upset with them and frustrated. Nobody has the information they need. So that training, that development, that guiding them, being able to see step by step by step, what is the whole thing that you need to do in order to get the result that you want? That detachment, stepping back a little bit so you can see the larger picture and go, here's the next couple of steps. And then leading the charge in that direction. Just a quick thought for you. It's great chatting with you. Glad you're part of Wolf's Watch. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for being part of the conversation. This is 21st Century Television, live and interactive. Bring your questions, comments, topics you'd like to discuss. Look forward to continuing that conversation. I'm Wolf. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch, and I will see you on the trail.